record. There goes the encoder. And you're good to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zombie Almighty One, Nick, Smitty, we are here to talk about so much wrestling. There's a lot to get into. We got a huge thing for Impact coming up this Tuesday, the first of 2 weeks, their emergence pay-per-view-ish type thing that's going on right now. NXT TakeOver 30 is this Saturday coming up, both of which are going to be events on Pro Wrestling Scorecards. We're going to talk a little bit about each of them and get into a whole bunch more since we took a week off this week as we
break the ring down.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list.
This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The F Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
And you're listening
to...
You listen to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Bring it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are listening to, you are watching, you are paying attention to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring, and we are your ring crew.
Mr. Smitkishi.
The Coronic virus.
And me, the almighty one and current ring crew champion, Mikey himself. Hey everybody, there's that midget stripper. We missed her the last week. Look, man, it's the summertime. We are dealing with COVID. Wrestling is dealing with no fans. We took a week off last week. Why? Because fuck it. Everyone's got family time and stuff, dude. Fucking Nick's going out camping. Smitty's going to work. I was going to New York. It's like, fuck it. Let's take a week off because what the fuck is going on? And then wrestling decided to say, this is what the fuck is going on. The week following, pedophiles came back to NXT. They might have a part in NXT TakeOver 30. Impact did some great stuff announcing Emergence as their 2 television show special, similar to what AEW and NXT already did with the Great American Bash and Fighter Fest. Was it Fighter Fest or Fight for the Smitty's trying to talk, and he's one of them really, but no, Fighter Fest was the 1 week, right?
Oh,
no,
1 week.
Fighter Fest was 2 weeks, and Fighter Fest was Smitty. You're on mute, so we can't hear you, bro.
Oh, Fighter Fest was 2 weeks.
Fighter Fest was 2. Yeah, okay. So Fighter Fest, Great American Bash, and now an Impact Emergence, taking the regular 2 week show and doing amazing, announcing it like a pay-per-view, making it a big deal, which is great. I mean, let's be very honest. Wrestling right now is not bringing in a whole bunch of revenue as far as pay-per-views for a 1 day, 4 hour thing. So your best bet is to do something along the lines of people are already watching, will put over the talent and get things going. NXT TakeOver 30 is Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for a singles match for the NXT Championship. Adam Cole and Pat McAfee are going up in a singles match after the stuff that started on McAfee's show. Io Shirai is defending her NXT Women's Championship against the number one contender Dakota Kai, and then Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, Johnny Gargano, or Ridge Holland versus Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream is a ladder match for NXT North American Championship. That's what NXT has going on this Saturday. I want to talk about this before we get into Impact and the Emergent stuff, which is 2 weeks, but we only got the card for one. And again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You can get yourself a card. I think the NXT one will post this Thursday, right, the day after NXT, because that's when everything is usually announced and you can play. The Emergence card is actually going to be posted a little bit later in this day. Today, Sunday, 2 p.m., 1 p.m. our time, Eastern Standard Time. I think it's 11. So, 2 p.m. our time, 11 a.m. In the Las Vegas time zone. I think that's Mountain. I don't know. I don't want to think about anything right now. It's too fucking early, ladies and gentlemen. Smitty saw me drinking at work, and he was like, "We're gonna have a short show tomorrow." I was like, "Smitty, I drink at work every Saturday." But yes, let's talk a little bit about NXT Takeover 30. They were set to have NXT was set to have a myriad of triple threat matches, and the winner would go on to be in this ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee relinquished the North American Championship just to fight for the NXT Championship.
The spirit of competition.
Yes, and which is fine, but we were kind of talking about it. Like, what is Keith Lee going to do as this double champion? They gave him, he's the first ever double champion. Let's see what he does with it. They didn't even give him a fucking pay-per-view for it. You know, like they didn't even give Keith Lee a pay-per-view to have a defense of the North American Championship before him just relinquishing it. So before we go into the pay-per-view, let's talk a little bit about that. Nick, how do you feel about Keith Lee just like, hey, I won this, and a couple weeks later, I don't want it anymore?
I was a little disappointed, to be honest. I mean, I think when I commented on it, I would have liked to have seen him hold it for at least a pay-per-view or two. And like you said, they didn't give him that. So it's kind of disappointing. I mean, I do get it, but, you know, what was the point? You know, what was the point? That, like, to me, okay, him winning that and having both titles, it just, I don't know. I was disappointed. I would have liked to have seen him defend it even just once. One time I'd have been a little more okay with it than what I am now. But I mean, just like WWE, they'll make you forget about it, and then in a couple months it'll be like, yeah, okay, well, whatever.
Smitty, how did you feel about Keith Lee just giving up that title pretty quickly?
I felt like it was just like making him a double champion was just a rubber stamp at that point. Just like, yeah, we gave it to you. And also, I was kind of tired of all these double champions in wrestling right now. Because over in Japan, you got Evil with both the IC and IWGP World titles. You got Bayley and Sasha now with all the titles on the main roster for the women. And, like, so another double champion right now is just kind of, for me, it's kind of being overdone right now in pro wrestling. So, like, him giving up the title, I wasn't super upset about it, but I was kind of agree with Nick. Like, I would have liked to see him at least defend it once.
And I'm in the same boat as you guys. I really did want to see Keith Lee do a pay-per-view or something, maybe even like, I don't even think he defended it on NXT television, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, since he won the NXT championship, he didn't defend anything. And I agree. I feel like it was like, hey, we just gave him the double belt and we're not going to use it to build him any stronger, make Keith Lee look real powerful, so that if someone did take out the North American title off of him, it would have been an automatic stepping stone for those people. Now, granted, it's taking a title is a stepping stone, but taking a title off of a double champion is a bigger stepping stone. And I'll be very honest, they could have done an earlier match where somebody could have got in and whoever was fighting him for the NXT championship later that evening could have, helped whoever win and take the North American title off of him and, make Keith Lee look like he got beat and stuff. But obviously, had him going to whatever NXT championship match later looking like not 100%, right? The bottom line is he would go in there looking like he was 80 or 75 or 70% and then retain the NXT championship and look much stronger, while it at the same time gave somebody a stepping stone as the NXT North American champion. I agree with you guys. They just
Drop the ball.
Yeah, they could have they had so much potential in Keith Lee being a double champion to do stuff with people. Now,
And I think it would have been great with Cameron Grimes. If it was Cameron Grimes to take the title off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like they're doing big things with Grimes and NXT right now. So I could see him with a run as North American champion.
So let's get into this North American Championship ladder match. Johnny Gargano and Ridge Holland are going to have a match. Finn Balor and Velveteen Dream are going to have a match to decide which two of those four are going to be in this ladder match for the NXT North American Championship. Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, and Cameron Grimes are already in them. So, Smitty, are you thinking that Cameron Grimes has a strong shot of being the North American champion? Or could somebody out of nowhere be taking this over like a Finn Balor?
I think it's either going to be Cameron Grimes or Damian Priest. I think they want to put some new blood up, some title on some new blood right now. Balor's there, but I think Balor's kind of lost in the shuffle because his original plan, what they were going to do with him and Walter, just kind of got completely from the back burner. And I think it's too soon to put the whole Dream thing, that's a whole taboo subject. Put him in anything high profile right now. It's just kind
Ain't shit taboo about that shit. That fucking dude touched kids. More than one. That shit is fucked up that he's even on that television show right now.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, continue.
But I get it. It's WWE. If they're going to keep Matt Riddle on television, and I guarantee he's most likely going to be a returning Dream inside that match in Gargano.
Yeah. Oof. I'm eating these Rice Krispie treat poppers. Vanilla cream. These shits are delicious, ladies and gentlemen. There's a cookies and cream one, like a caramel and a chocolate one. The vanilla cream are fucking phenomenal. Sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be the high spot probably of the entire pay-per-view. Or the NXT takeover. But hey.
The ladder match or Velveteen Dream being in it?
No, the ladder match.
Oh, okay.
I am a fan of the Dream, but I just can't get behind him at this point with everything behind
You're too old.
Huh?
You're too old to be behind him. I get it.
There's everything behind the scenes. It's hard to try to be a fan of somebody when you're just trying to get a shitty individual.
Dude, I 100% agree with that. It is a weird situation to even talk about because we all know, look, it's the one dude came out and was like, Dream did this. And everyone's like, all right, one-on-one conversation, let it go. And then a couple more came out and we're all like, oh, well, maybe he does like people under the age of 18 and that's a problem. And then he was gone forever, and all of a sudden he's back. It's like, I get what you're talking about with Riddle, but, man, I feel like what Dream did is way worse. Anyway, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, maybe Johnny Gargano, maybe Ridge Holland, maybe Finn Balor, maybe Velveteen Dream. Nick, what are you hoping for out of this ladder match?
I agree with Smitty that this will probably be, one of, if not the match of the night. I think I can see Damian Priest going over in this one. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Bronson Reed going over. I mean, I know it is a little early for him still, but I like his in-ring work. He's a powerhouse and he's pretty agile. And after the vignette, they had a vignette for him a couple weeks ago, and those kind of things that show you that personal side of them, kind of to get you on their bandwagon a little more, is something that I enjoy. So I wouldn't mind seeing him going over. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be probably the best match of the night for sure. NXT ladder matches are always top notch.
Yeah, I don't know though, man. And the reason I don't know is because it's Keith Lee and Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. Watching those two wrestle anytime before, Killer Cross when he was, as Killer Cross in Impact and stuff. Keith Lee we've seen him in Evolve personally. At least I think I have. Smitty may have. And it's just we're watching two guys who are really good in the ring go up against each other in a WWE style, and both of which, even granted, look, Cross has been coming through as a squash match person, right? But if you've seen any of his old stuff, you know that he can go in the ring. Keith Lee has put on shows for us in the NXT ring. So I really think you said what?
He's a human gift machine.
That's damn right. So we think I think that match actually could be better than the ladder match, especially if it's put together correctly. And who knows what agents are doing it. Sorry. Now, I do agree that it might be, like what Smitty said, it might be time for somebody else to be built up. Sure, Gargano and Balor and even Velveteen Dream have been featured heavily in NXT for a very long time. So somebody taking that North American Championship that's kind of newish to it would be a smart idea and help build up the future, because let's be very honest, NXT hasn't had a future building title for the entirety of it, right? And there's been many times where we're like, oh, these people are gone. What is NXT going to do now? And then a month later, we're like, wow, why did we even doubt NXT, right? So that's without the North American Championship. Now they have the North American Championship, so I think it could help build people on a faster track, basically, rather than just hoping they put something together within 4 weeks. And I agree. What Cameron Grimes has done, I think Cameron Grimes might be the better idea of someone taking this. Could I see them doing the old fallback onto a Finn Balor? Possibly, I can, because I would think him getting that is a consolation prize. Like Smitty said, when all this COVID stuff hit, he was supposed to be doing stuff with Walter, but there is no type of travel. Yeah, you can't do shit with that. So could I see them give it to him as a consolation prize? Possibly. But Triple H is more of a build guy rather than a here, take this guy. So I think I agree. I think it's more one of the other guys that are already in this match that are going to be taking it and doing it well. Dakota Kai became the number one contender for the women's championship. Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Shirai and Kai, Shirai, whatever.
This match makes my penis hard.
Aww. Well, at least they're of age. Way not to be a dream. Somebody talk about this match.
This match makes my penis hard. I'm a fan of both Shirai and Kai, so the funny thing is, I think this is what Dakota Kai may actually. I think Shirai may drop to Kai, maybe.
Really?
Because I know that her contract is up soon as well, and I think I don't think she's re-signing.
Really?
She's engaged to Evil.
Yes. The
so I think
IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I think she's going home
after her contract's up.
Oh man, so Kairi Sane leaves. Fucking Io Shirai. Man, I don't want Io Shirai to leave NXT. I love Io Shirai in NXT. She's one of my favorite things about NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I love my Joshi too, but they ain't getting treated right mostly throughout that company.
I think NXT.
I love my Joshi as well, the Japanese women.
Yeah, I know what that means, but you said they weren't treating her right throughout the company.
I said throughout, but most of them aren't getting treated well in the company.
You said what?
Most of them aren't getting treated well within that company.
What are you talking about, man? NXT, Triple H has put them over huge.
Oh, Triple H put them over. I'm like, okay, let me rephrase that. If she does resign, she stays in NXT. If they try to bring her up, she's screwed.
Yeah, I agree with that. And now I will agree. Go to Raw and SmackDown for the most part. Anybody who is of foreign descent, Vince McMahon fucking hates. Period. That's just how it goes. I'm not going to argue that. But yeah, in NXT, outside of her injury time, Io Shirai has been featured heavily on NXT and looked very strong with it. Now, I agree. I could see her possibly going back to, be at home with her fucking boyfriend. Are they dating or married?
Engaged.
Engaged, yes. And it's very possible. That's why Kairi Sane left. Kairi Sane, she left because she just wanted to go home and, be a part of all that stuff. She was away, and we get it. I kind of hope she doesn't, but we'll see. So, Smitty, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts about this match, other than your penis being hard, like it was Velveteen Dream looking at a little boy?
But this match has so much potential. Like Dakota Kai, I believe, is one of the most underrated women on the NXT roster.
Mm-hmm.
And she's finally getting some kind of. She's finally getting a push where she's not. This also, she's not hurt as well.
Yeah.
So this is possibly Dakota Kai's time to finally just shine. And like for some reason, I was talking to somebody about this. But for some reason, whenever these women turn heel, these little women turn heel in NXT, for some reason, they just get so much hotter.
Smitty likes the abuse. He's like, spank me. It's fine.
Right. I'll spend my time between Dakota Kai's legs any day.
Team kick.
Yep.
Better than Team Dick.
So just like the potential of this match is just for me. It not just because it makes my penis hard. It just has much. There's a lot of potential in this match.
Nick, what are you thinking, brother?
This match actually makes my penis soft. No. Totally joking.
If I were a wet noodle, you son of a bitch.
No, it definitely makes me rock hard. That's it. No, I agree with. I don't remember who said it, but I totally agree that those NXT women, when they turn heel, they do get hotter. They like get that darker makeup on and that hair that Dakota Kai's got now, and yeah, honestly, I can see them putting the strap on Dakota Kai. Kind of feels
you said strap on.
Strap on.
It's not Tegan Knox.
Oh.
It feels a little early for that, but speaking of Tegan Knox, I think that could lead into a really good, another heated feud between Kai and Knox. Maybe eventually Tegan Knox takes the title off of Dakota Kai, maybe. But yeah, I like Dakota Kai. So would this be her first NXT Women's title run? Yeah.
Run,
so
yes.
I mean, I think it would be a good time for that, and she's a great heel. I'm looking forward to the match for sure because, yeah, it's definitely a rock hard penis kind of thing.
RHP match.
This is just a 3-boner match.
Yeah, the new boner match. That's right, boner yard match. Keith Lee defending his NXT championship up against Karrion Kross. There was a lot of talk originally that it could have been Kross versus Cole, and then Cole dropped it to Keith Lee. Nick, what's your thinking regarding this match? Obviously, we're talking about how it could be a really good match, but what is your hope? Do you think it's time for Kross to take it, Keith Lee to drop it, or, as old school booking goes, the first time you go for a title, you're never supposed to win it?
And that's kind of where I'm at, but man, I am torn because it's, on one hand, it's to me too soon to take the title off of Keith Lee. I think he's more than earned it, and he hasn't really defended it. But at the same time, I'm like, well, they're building Kross to be this monster of a dude, and you don't want to make him look weak. It doesn't necessarily mean that he has to win, but then I'm like, well, how is this match going to go? So I don't know. I think Keith Lee's going to get the victory here, but it may be by like a disqualification or something to that effect. But yeah, I mean, it will be a good match for sure because, you know, I don't think they're going to have Karrion squash him for the whole time and then Keith Lee get like some kind of bullshit victory. I think it's going to be along the lines of when we've seen Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic. You know, those matches every time were fucking phenomenal. I think we'll get some type of level of that match out of this one.
Mhm.
So, but I'm torn on who to go with. I really am.
You should go with your gut. Smitty, what are you thinking?
I agree that I feel like it's too soon for Lee to drop the title. They haven't really he hasn't really had we haven't really had a chance to see what he has done as champion. He's got a couple promos. I thought the Fireball thing was super corny on NXT this week. So it looks like him and Cross, like this is another like Nick's pretty much nailed that on the head. Like these are two big guys we know can go. So I'm interested in seeing how this goes. I wouldn't be upset if Lee dropped. Actually, I won't say I wouldn't be upset. I'd be disappointed, but not upset. Like, he pretty much just got the title. He was a double champion. He's already pretty much gave up one title. And for him to just turn around and lose the next one of his first defense? Or second?
Yep. I think there was something on NXT television as well, yeah.
So it's just one of those weird things where we haven't really seen Keith Lee as champion.
Yeah, this is the SHP match. Soft something penis match. I'll figure out what H means later. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Shave that shit. I agree. Keith Lee dropping right now would be real fucked up. It's like, oh, thanks for giving up this title, and we're taking this one off you too. You know, so yes, I agree. Finally, the Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee match, all beginning. You know, it's really funny. A lot of things say this started when Adam Cole was on McAfee's show and flipped out and got mad and pushed a producer and stuff. But this has actually been going back for a long time. You know, I mean, a lot of times Pat's been fucking with Adam Cole, and Adam Cole's been responding, arguing, interviews and stuff like that, be it pre-shows and stuff. So this has been going for a while. And I guess it's something to give Adam Cole to do now, because what else can they have him in before they possibly put him on Raw or SmackDown, which I don't fucking know, man. I don't know if I want to see that. You know, it's been highly notarized that, you know, even when Eric Young was on Rhino's podcast, it's like, you know, he made the mention of, he's like, look, Vince McMahon has people brought up from NXT because they're hot and he doesn't know what to do with them. And it's very similar to how he acts when he brings in people from other companies. It's not his baby, so he doesn't give it the time it deserves. And that's a problem when it comes to the talent. So I don't know if I want to see Adam Cole go up. But Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee, punting Adam Cole, stealing Randy Orton's move. But, you know, giving him a nice kick, and Smitty's talking and he's on mute again. And he just loves doing that.
But what do you mean the punt that didn't black out?
Right, yeah. So Smitty, now that we got you off of mute, let's talk to you about this. What are your hopes with this Adam Cole Pat McAfee match?
This is one of the ones I really don't care about. I really don't. And I think it's the whole Pat McAfee thing. So, like, I've been wondering what they're going to do with Cole after he dropped, but I feel like this is just literally just a way to get Cole on the card right now.
Oh, what would you consider that, maybe? What would you call that?
Fodder.
Oh, drink, everybody.
Oh.
I have nothing in my hand right now. I have nothing right now.
You can drink some of the fryer grease.
Yeah. It's hot.
Oh, it is?
I think you should drink the fat.
Ooh, yeah. Fat drinker.
Yeah.
Nick, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I agree.
Well, starting off really good.
I agree with you, Mikey, that it's something for Cole to do. To kind of, I mean, nobody's going to forget about him. He's not going to end up, off in the distance just doing some other bullshit, that nobody cares about. I think the build-up's okay, but I don't really have much interest in this match. This is my the match on the card that I have the least amount of interest in. But I think it'll be okay. I don't know. I'm not. I don't have a lot of knowledge of Pat McAfee in the ring. Does he have a lot of experience wrestling? I don't know. It's just kind of whatever. And I agree with you too. I hope they don't. This isn't just something for him to do until he goes up to Raw or the Undisputed Era goes to Raw or whatever the case may be. Leave them the fuck alone. Just, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Or break it.
So, but yeah, again, I don't know if Pat McAfee's got in-ring experience. I mean, I'm sure he has some capacity, but it's just kind of fodder.
This means kind of bullshit. You don't have anything to drink. Just pour 2 shots for yourself right now and do them.
Bam, bam.
I love how he's still talking when he's saying it.
Yeah. And he's probably saying something really insightful too, and it just
right. We should make a shirt. I don't think I'm muted. I think or muted or something. I don't know. We can make shirts again. Maybe I can finally get that look shirt.
Look.
Smitty, are you pouring yourself a drink? Is that what's going on right now?
Water.
That's fine. You can drink water. That's fine. Tequila. I mean, water. Now you owe 2 drinks. Take your 2 drinks. That's 1. You don't have to chug, bruh. That's too good. Chug. Good. Yeah, right? Yeah. Glug, glug, glug. Like Velveteen Dream on a young boy's penis.
No.
Anyway.
Oh my God. The thoughts of you is expressed on breaking down the ring.
Nope. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. We're gonna fuck with Velveteen Dream being a goddamn pedophile forever. Oh man.
Velveteen Peen.
By the way, what the fuck did he do to his face?
He's told no one too many times, and someone had to swipe at him. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, it's like he's dyed his entire bottom of his beard blonde.
Oh, it's young boy Cumstain.
I was gonna say that. Oh.
That's what happens when you mess with kids.
It looks like he ate out the great pumpkin.
Gross.
Oh man, ate out the great pumpkin. Was it orange or is it blonde?
It's kind of like a cross between orange and blonde. It looks like some. Yeah, it just looks bad.
Like,
I'll just let you know. It looks really bad.
It looks like vanilla cream, like orange sherbet type stuff. Orange cream.
What's the best way to describe this color?
Orange, you're glad I didn't say banana?
It looks more goldish, more so to say.
Oh, so he went away from Paisley to Gaisley. More Gaisley.
And it's all to the bottom of his fucking beard. I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
Smitty's really angry about Velveteen Dream dyeing his face.
He sure is.
Just anger over here. Let's talk Impact. Impact is something that we've all been enjoying a lot lately. It has been putting on a great wrestling product, as well as really good storylines, which you really can't find in a lot of other things. Sure, there's great wrestling product that's going on in AEW in the ring, but no real type of building anything unless you're watching what's their show? Being the Elite. God, wow, I'm tired, boys. I was up way later than normal last night. But Impact is doing it well. They have both the in-ring product and they have the storyline building. Couple things we're going to talk about.
It's time.
Fucking love Wrestle House.
Tommy Dreamer.
Fucking love Wrestle House. The World Tag Team Championship match. The Motor City Machine Guns defending against the North because the North wanted to fight them at 100%. Good Brothers are taking on Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Eddie Edwards is going to defend the Impact World Championship in an open challenge. Chris Bay versus TJP versus Rohit Raju, as Chris Bay is defending his Finesse X Division Championship. And then Moose is defending his TNA World Heavyweight Championship against Trey Miguel. And then on night 2, which we're going to talk a little bit about, but there's only one match announced currently, and that's Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordan Grace, is the first ever 30-minute Knockouts Iron Man match for the Knockouts Championship. Let's start off with the first one, man. Motor City Machine Guns versus the North. Motor City Machine Guns made a surprise return at Slammiversary. They came back, and then the next night on Impact, they took the titles off the North. The North is really pissed off, saying that Motor City Machine Guns took those belts off of them when they weren't even 100%. They were like 40%. And so they wanted to take them on when they were at 100%. So they set an emergence. Motor City Machine Guns agreed. Smitty, what are your thoughts about this match coming up, and what are you hoping? The Pro Wrestling Scorecard thing will come out a little bit later today, so everybody go to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. You can download your own, or at the same time sign up for the free digital, and you guys can play along. We're going to be filling out ours a little bit within the next day, obviously, because it happens Tuesday. So we'll be filling ours out, and we will let everyone know what we're thinking. But so, Smitty, for right now, maybe don't talk about who you think is going to win, but what are your thoughts on the build for this match and how it's being progressed?
I think, like you said, Impact is great at making a good storyline going into this. The match they had on Impact after Slammiversary was really good, and like the guns are great. The North they're great. Like,
Second Amendment,
the North,
for sure.
I think
Second Amendment, for sure.
I think the North is one of the best tag teams in the industry right now. But I think, like he said a couple weeks on our shows, that they get so much shit because they're an Impact. So
okay.
I think it's probably going to end up being the main event for night 1.
All right. Nick, what are your thoughts on the build for this match? And I guess, yeah, if you guys really want to, you can talk about who you think is going to win, and then you could possibly switch it when you put on your Pro Wrestling Scorecards.
I like the build. It wasn't really too surprising to me when the Motor City Machine Guns came back, only because that was my first real taste of Impact and everything. But their match on that first episode of Impact after Slammiversary was awesome. So I can't imagine that this is going to be anything less or anything short of that. I feel like the Motor City Machine Guns are going to retain titles. I don't think I'll be changing that at all. But yeah, I like the build so far, and the tag division in Impact seems to be top notch for sure. So I'm excited for it.
I'm also excited for it. I agree. The return of the Motor City Machine Guns was a really good surprise. And even when they sat down with Jimmy Jacobs and had a conversation, and the whole backstory build of why they're back together and things like that, the training and stuff. Again, it's really good storytelling overall that Impact is doing. And with the North, it's your longest reigning tag team champions. It makes sense that they would go, oh, I wasn't at my full potential right there, and that's why you beat us. That makes sense. I like when things make sense. This makes sense. So yes, it's understandable why they would be given a tag team title shot. 1, they were the champions, but 2, they're saying that Motor City Machine Guns didn't beat them when they were at their full capacity. So Motor City Machine Guns winning at Emergence would do that. And I think you said Ethan Page, is his contract coming up? Smitty, is that what you said? Or did I read that?
I didn't say anything about Ethan Page's contract. I think that North get a bad rap because of the Impact, like what he said on that show.
Okay. Good brothers. Carl Anderson, Luke, Doc, Gallows. Taking on Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Smitty, talk a little bit about this.
I'm kind of impartial about this one. I like what the Good Brothers have been doing. I kind of like what the Good Brothers are doing, but I'm still like talking shop of Mania is still in the back of my mind when I look at them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that the attitude they've given the Good Brothers here. I'm still not the biggest fan of Ace Austin and Madman. I'm not sold on them yet. I think they've been bouncing Ace Austin around a little bit too much in the company right now. Because one minute he was competing for the X Division, next thing he was competing for the world title, and now he's all of a sudden tagging up with Madman Fulton. And so I don't know where I stand with Ace Austin yet. When he was feuding with Eddie Edwards back in last year, I was starting to buy into the character. Then this is just kind of changing up a little bit too much for me with him right now. They need to find something. He needs to stick with something for him. So, short end of the stick. I feel like him and Fulton getting the short end of the stick for a hot Good Brothers right now. So they're going to end up being fodder for Gallows and Anderson.
Drink. I heard it. I heard fodder. Oh, shit. Drink again. Nick, what are your thoughts, brother?
I like the build. I like the idea that Gallows got arrested. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was good.
And, with the whole talking shop of Mania thing, it kind of, with that in the back of my head, they're not really talking about it on Impact, but it shows that I like that style of sense of humor that the Good Brothers have, and then they come out, all fucking guns firing on Impact. They're ready to destroy these two motherfuckers that have just been, a thorn in their side these last few weeks. So while I'm not looking forward to this match more than some other ones on the card, I still think it'll be a good match to see. And the only time that I've had exposure to Ace Austin was at Slammiversary, and I think he looked really good in the ring. And you combine that with Carl Anderson and Gallows, I think it'll be a good match for sure.
But I think Austin's really young. He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
So he's got a bright future. Yeah.
Wow, I thought he was a little bit older than that.
That's one thing. That's also one thing they were touting around Slammiversary is that he could become the youngest world champion in Impact history at 24.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of the world champion, Eddie Edwards is doing as he's been doing an open challenge.
Did you watch, by the way?
Every week. Last week he did it with Brian Myers, who is Kurt Hawkins. He did it with Trey Miguel a couple weeks ago. Last week.
It was the first week with Trey Miguel. Then he did Sami Callihan last week.
Yep, which is a fucking classic match, dude. Those two can go.
And then also the Sami Callihan thing, it built into the story with him and RVD and Katie Forbes.
Yes. So Eddie Edwards is defending the Impact World Championship. Smitty, who do you think he's going to take on this week? Obviously, it could be anybody.
I'm pretty sure they're going to probably try to make it Eric Young. I would want them to make that. I would love it if they held off on Eric Young for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the way things are, if Eric Young is like right now, he's building himself as the hottest heel in the company right now. And Eddie Edwards is a straight baby face. He's got this whole heart and soul Impact thing going. So, and also those two, they're going to fucking tear it down when they actually lock on. So I hope it's not Eric Young, but I feel like it's going to be Eric Young. They're going to give it to Eric Young.
Well, who would you like to see do it if it's not Eric Young?
Like I say, they could still build on a Katie Forbes, RVD's, Sami Callihan thing. Have RVD answer the challenge, and Sami Callihan screw RVD.
Okay.
So I can see that happening. Or you can have some. Let's see. Like Impact, like you have all these surprise people coming back. Like maybe Tommy Dreamer. No, actually, no. Nobody in
Match
Wrestle House.
time.
Nobody in Wrestle House right at this point.
Yeah, they're gone, man. They're in Wrestle House. Match time.
But, they've been doing all these surprise people coming back and surprise people. It could be like that's what makes it so fun. You don't know who it could be.
Yeah.
Like,
Nick,
but maybe Willie Mack.
Nick, what are your hopes for this? Is there anyone specific? Obviously, you're like just getting into Impact Wrestling, but is there anybody that has stood out at least a little bit that you would like to see Eddie Edwards face?
What Smitty just said, I kind of thought maybe Willie Mack. That would be a good fight to see. I like the idea of Rob Van Dam, with Sammy Callahan screwing him over, but I also feel like, if they don't put in Eric Young, which I agree with Smitty, I hope they don't do that yet. They put in somebody like Willie Mack and Eric Young try to screw over Eddie Edwards in this match, although he'll still get the victory. But that's still, Eric Young with his whole, this is going to happen on my time thing, leading up to that slow burn somewhere down the line, maybe at, what's our next pay-per-view, Bound for Glory or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Smitty's talking on mute again.
Bound for Glory is usually around the end of the fall, so that's usually probably going to come around October or in September.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind, if they put Eric Young in that match. I don't think he would get the victory. But yeah, there's a lot they can do. And like you said, Mikey, the storytelling that they're doing really with any feud or any story that I've seen so far, I am interested in, and it does make sense. So that's one thing amongst others that they're doing really well right now. So, but yeah, I think Willie Mack, for me, I think that would be a good match. I really like him in the ring. And that's, to touch on that, Impact as a whole, I've noticed for me, it seems less, I don't want to say choreographed, but that WWE style, I'm sorry to say, it seems choreographed against companies like Impact or even AEW. Like, it seems like it's more on the fly with Impact, and it captivates me a little more. It holds my interest more. That's why, like I told Mikey before the show, I watched Impact and didn't watch Raw this week for the first time ever. So,
congratulations.
Sorry to kind of sidecast there, but
No, I mean, but that's what we're talking about. Like, obviously, the builds for these matches is a main thing for them, and they're doing it very well right now. And I think possibly better than any of the other major companies. They're touted. They're supposed to be the number 3 United States promotion, but they're acting like number 1, man. And they're putting out a product that you can just watch and get behind.
Even without a crowd.
And without a crowd, and that's the crazy thing. I fucking fell off of watching WWE because of the no crowds. AEW, I'm still kind of like, whatever with. But both, my main fallout from those companies now is completely different. But the no crowd thing, at least AEW was doing it to where you felt like people would cheer who should cheer, who they would cheer for. WWE, where they put their wrestlers in the crowd, it's like, hey, you have to cheer for this person, you have to boo for this person. It's like, let people do what people do. That's you can't constantly tell people what to do, but they do, and that's the problem. And so, just like Nick said,
like I hate to backtrack, but I know I got to put in who Open Challenge is. It could be Ken Shamrock, because we keep forgetting Shamrock's with the company.
You keep forgetting he's with the company?
I forgot that Ken Shamrock is still with Impact. He's under contract still next year.
But yeah, it's a very good build with Impact inside the ring, outside of the ring. As far as Eddie Edwards, I agree. My call was going to be RVD, and help build up that for possibly night 2 of Emergence, and you get RVD versus Sami Callihan. Then I think that would be a great call. And obviously, Eddie Edwards is going to defend on night 2 as well, because he's doing an open challenge every week. So then maybe you get your Eric Young, maybe not, maybe we get something else. Next match, Moose versus Trey Miguel. for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Smitty, you're laughing, man. Why, brother?
Because the build to this match was just hilarious. Because I love watching the Rascals backstage. They're so entertaining. And also all three of them, Dez, Trey, and Lynch, are all they're all amazing. So the build for this literally is Moose. Pretty much, if you know anything about the Rascals, they're stoners. Like flat out, like literally Nick was watching and he apparently he put in our group chat like, do the Rascals have a bong rip after we get into their intro?
Yeah. Their whole backstage segment thing is taken off of that 70s show. The Treehouse is taken off of that 70s show where it's the camera that moves in between as they're smoking weed.
Oh shit, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, so pretty much, so it's just so this whole segment starts with the Rascals just pretty much they're just bullshitting around backstage, and there's this whole joke that AC Romero was suicide. So they're like playing off this whole joke, and so pretty much Trey walks up with Suicide's mask, and he puts it on, and pretty much like Moose just comes to start bullying Wentz and Dez, and he said, "Suicide, I want to give you a shot at my TNA World Impact Championship." And pretty much he just kind of conned himself into fighting Trey in night one of Emergence.
That's awesome. What is your hope for this match? I mean, look, Trey Miguel can go in the ring. We've talked about it. Naomi has stolen his move.
It's tried.
And said it was hers. We know. Are you thinking that this could be a great contrast of two different styles that can make a match a very high quality match?
Yeah, absolutely. Because Moose is probably one of the most athletic big men, and he's like I would love to see guys like if Moose were not Impact, I could see him in NXT going against guys like Keith Lee and Bronson Reed. But also Moose has shown he could go with these smaller guys like these exhibition, some people call them X-Division guys. He's already had great matches with the guys in the Rascals when he first turned heel. So this is like it's not like it's something you haven't seen, but it's something you haven't seen in a while. It's something that they didn't kind of drive down your throat. So it's kind of refreshing when it comes back around.
I would like to point out.
And the narrative is different because no pun intended with the EC3 thing that's going on with him and Moose. The narrative is kind of different as well. This is just
it's a new band. It's Free X3.
Free X3.
Also, by the way, if you if you follow Moose on social media, he cut a promo on EC3 after Impact. And it was probably the best Moose promo ever.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, he was talking about cut the bullshit. He's like, cut the bullshit. Like, you talk about you want to destroy your past or do you want to relive it?
Oh. Nick, what are your thought processes on the Trey Miguel Moose match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship?
I think it'll be a really good match. When I first saw Moose on Slammiversary, I thought the same thing Smitty was saying. Like, this dude is a monster, and he is super athletic. And you don't really see too many of those kind of guys. I mean, you're kind of seeing it more and more now. But, it's pretty rare to see these giant dudes be so athletic and so smooth in the ring. And he's one of them. And, yeah, another – when I saw Trey Miguel for the first time, I was like, damn, that's – one of the first matches that I saw, so I think these two dudes are going to go hard, and it's going to be a really, really good match. It's going to be fast. It's going to, I don't think Trey Miguel's going to take that title off of him, but I think it could potentially be one of the better matches of night one for sure.
All right.
Brought to you by the word hard this week.
Yeah, BD hard. Yeah, I'm really good at that, Smitty. You're right. Finally, it's not I jumped ahead, but our boy Rohit Raju is in this match, so we have to. It's our main event. The X Division Championship match Chris Bay defending his finesse division championship against TJP, someone you know very well from WWE, and against Rohit Raju. Rohit put it on social media. Plan is in place for them to keep the belt on Chris Bay. Smitty, what's your thought process on this, brother?
So I've always loved the X division. I think Chris Bay is amazing. Rohit is amazing. TJP amazing. This is going to be one of those matches I feel is going to be that underdog match. That underdog match is going to be really, really good. But also I think it's also going to help build the Chris Bay character. Because when he won X Division champion, like they had him with Johnny Swinger, like he's finessing him, blah blah blah. I hate to say this, but Bay's going to retain by pinning Rohit.
Yeah,
pretty much. I feel like it's like all the work's going to be done. Like they're going to both work over TJP. When TJP starts to get an advantage, it's going to be his advantage on Rohit. Pretty much, that's when Bay's probably going to like toss out TJP and pin Rohit. And Rohit's been finessed.
Ooh. Nick, what are your thought processes, sir?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be I wasn't thinking about this match when we were talking about the Moose match. This is another match that could have potential to steal the night. You're stroking that pretty good there.
Thanks.
Yeah, all three guys are solid in the ring, and for sure, Chris Bay, he was in one of the opening matches of Slammiversary, and yeah, man, that dude can fucking go. I don't see him losing the title just yet, so I definitely think he'll go over. Who he'll pin is still up in the air for me, but yeah, man, it's going to be an amazing match. I really like I like Chris Bay a lot. I think he is one of the more athletic guys on that roster that I've seen so far, and that's saying a lot because, man, a lot of these dudes are phenomenal in the ring. So I'm excited for it. All these matches on night one, I'm just like, yeah, all right, I can get behind that. And I can't say that I've thought that about many shows or pay-per-views over the last year plus. So
what do you got to say, Smith Swan?
Smith Swan.
You're about to say something.
I was gonna let you finish what you were gonna say before, because I thought about something. There is a match on night one, and it involves Russell House.
Oh yeah.
Taya Valkyrie versus Kylie Ray. It's night one as well.
Okay. Yeah. It's not listed under Impact's official emergence thing though, so that's why I didn't mention.
Oh, that maybe on like because they said it next week when I was watching Impact.
I mean, it could be. It very well could be. So we'll see. It's just it's not listed here. I think, and this is me probably marking out a little bit, but I think it's very possible you see Rohit Raju as your new X Division champion.
I would love to see that.
Right. I think something could happen to where he's not involved in something, like he may be outside, and TJP and Chris Bay do something to where they both knock each other out. Obviously, Falaba is probably going to be around as well, right? Something can happen to where both of them are knocked out in the middle of the ring, and Rohit looks up and sees, what's going on, and sees an opportunity, and either pins Chris Bay or TJP, more likely TJP, to add to the dichotomy. He's like, he had to be pinned, man. We had to get rid of him. Sure, I have the belt, but we have the belt. Something like that I could see Rohit doing. I agree. This could be a very big match of the night component because all three of these guys are spec-fucking-tacular in the ring. When I was watching it live a couple weeks ago, and whatever TJP did as a counter to something on Chris Bay, it was like Chris Bay did the drop down, because they're running the ropes, you're supposed to drop down, jump over. But TJP didn't jump over, just caught Chris Bay in something and some sort of
armbar.
counter
When
move.
he caught him in that armbar.
Yeah, whatever the fuck he caught him in. I can't even remember off the top of my head right now. But I was like, holy fucking shit, man. This is a TJP that wasn't able to shine at all in WWE. They gave him the Cruiserweight title and everything, but that's about it, right? Like in the Cruiserweight Classic, TJP looked good. And then TJP was WWE'd, right? So it wasn't the same guy that you were watching in the Cruiserweight Classic defending it, so you obviously can't get behind him as much. Watching him wrestle in Impact is a breath of fresh air for TJP. It is wonderful to see him act like this. So I can only imagine how good that this match is going to be. I don't think he'll take this title at all. I think I think it's looking more like 60% Chris Bay retains, 35% Rohit Raju somehow pulls it off, and 5% TJP could win. Like, there's obviously a possibility, but it's very low. But I do think that this could be a very standout portion of the match, of the night one. I think a lot of people will be talking a lot more about this, and for good reason, because these guys should all be where they're at right now. We'll talk about the night 2 match that they have announced right now, obviously, because we're not making any picks and stuff, but this is everything that they're putting out. Jordynne Grace is looking to get back the Knockouts Championship that she lost to Deonna Purrazzo in Impact's first ever 30-minute Iron Man match for the Knockouts Championship. We've talked about Jordynne Grace for a while. Jordynne Grace is really good. Yep. Jordynne Grace is really good. Deonna Purrazzo just left WWE, and all of a sudden now she's a Knockouts champion in Impact. Smitty, what are your thoughts here, brother?
Once again, another match that makes my penis hard. Jordynne Grace, Jordynne Grace is she makes me. You get it at this point.
No, I don't get it. I'm not a underage
I can't
boy,
get my
and you're
thoughts
not
straight when I think
Velveteen
about
Dream.
Jordynne Grace. Like my thoughts are never straight when I think about Jordynne Grace.
She's the spokeswoman for Smitty's Meats.
Right. Use the code Jordynne Grace for 100% in.
So Jordynne Grace, she's great in the ring. Deonna Purrazzo has proven why she's one of, she's proven time and time over why she considers herself, and it's like she's called her shot. She's one of the best women technical wrestlers in the industry right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all agree that at Slammiversary they stole the show at Slammiversary. Give them 30 minutes to just do the damn thing. We got another classic on our hands here.
Yes, sir. Nick, what do you think, brother? Smitty's lost in his own mute thoughts.
I would agree. It's hard not to, because that match, like we talked about after Slammiversary, was one of the best matches of the night, and I have no reason to believe that it won't be again. And yeah, now you're going to give them 30 minutes, those two chicks can go, man. So it'll be a fun match for sure. And yeah, I mean, a lot of these knockouts are just straight up knockouts. Like, these thick girls getting in there and they know how to fucking go, and it's great.
Wasn't fucking with Marty's girl.
And now, I do see what Smitty's been saying for a while, that the knockout division is one of, if not the best women's division out there. I'm starting to agree with that for sure.
Love it. Like I said, we talked highly about Jordynne Grace for a little bit. I kind of wish it was Jordynne Grace and not Tessa Blanchard that became the Impact World Champion. I think it makes more sense because of how strong she is, to where it would have looked better for her rather than Tessa. I get Tessa was the name, but if you're looking for someone to suspend their disbelief, Jordynne Grace was the way to go. But again, her being the Knockouts champion was also a great call. And then Deonna Purrazzo taking it from her. Look, we can wax poetic about how much we love that match at Slammiversary. But this is them looking to top that match. Like they gave us the cake at Slammiversary. Now I hope they put the good frosting on it and they make it something that's just so. Oh yeah, definitely. Just something that is just so over the top great that we sit back and we're just like, man, I just want to watch, give you a nice fight forever chant. And I think it's very possible with these two women the way they go.
And end up like a Randy Marsh meme.
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly. So I'm really excited about what Impact is doing with these next 2 weeks for Emergence. I can't wait to see what Eddie Edwards has up against him for the next couple weeks as well. I love the open challenge storyline for the top title. That I think is something different. A lot of people have done it for mid-card titles, but seeing it happen now in that is something that's going to be good. Smitty, I didn't know you were at work, so I obviously know that work is open right now. It opened about 10 minutes ago. So is there anything else in wrestling that you kind of want to talk about right now? Otherwise, we can make this a quick little hour show so you can get to work and do what you need to do.
Raw was there's around the rumor mill that they said that they've said the two people that may be in this whole new Retribution group. One of them may be Dijakovic, one may be Vanessa Bourne.
Okay.
SmackDown was, and the highlight of it, the most talked about point is the fact that Joseph Park showed up during AJ Styles' segment.
Abyss, yeah.
Yeah. So, and also somebody made a hilarious tweet about Dixie Carter winning, not the fact that Abyss, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy are doing shows at empty arenas.
Oh.
So Dixie Carter really win.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh. All right. So nothing really.
Nope.
Nick, anything that you specifically want to talk about?
I read last night that AEW released 3 stars. I don't remember one of the names.
Jimmy Havoc, Reed Presley, and
hey man, you're burying the lead, buddy.
Yeah, shut up. Let him finish what he's saying.
Jimmy
Mute
Havoc
again, brother.
And B. Priestley.
Oh, that's what it was? Okay, thanks, Mitty. I mean, Nick. Oh, Jimmy Havoc's gone.
They were all British. It was Jimmy Havoc, Reed Presley, and somebody else as well.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. She was pretty fucking irrelevant. They said that she hadn't had a match on television since October, so.
I think that was B, actually, that has had a match since October.
Oh, was it?
Sadie Gibbs.
There you go. So they gone.
Yeah, they gone. And two of them were caught up in that. Two of them were caught up in the whole speaking out thing. Jimmy Havoc was caught out, and Jimmy Havoc and B. Priestley were caught in the whole speaking out thing. And isn't B. Priestley dating Will Ospreay?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Isn't that like, that was the whole thing. That's why she was caught up in it.
Catch a case.
All the cases. Catching cases like Velveteen Dreams catching little boys in the DMs. I'm not gonna let it go, man. Sorry. That one's I'm just not happy with at all. It pulls me like I thought NXT was the saving grace for WWE, but bringing Velveteen Dream back really fucking soured me on that company even further. All right, guys, that's it. I hope Dave's here because we're gonna be ending the show a little early. I guess I should shoot him a text, huh? Talk about hey, we're about to end the show, stuff like that. This way he knows because he's usually doing stuff, man. We usually go hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm about to bounce. I'm about to get to work here.
Oh, you got work to do?
Get it.
Is there an order? What's the first order?
No, it's just got to make a whole bunch of chips. We ran through a bunch of them last night.
They were delicious. Went through all the chips last night. All right, Smitty, you go ahead. You get your cook on.
Make those chips.
Yeah, treat them chips like Walter White treats meth and make them all blue. I don't get that reference. I don't even know why I fucking said that. Oh, Smitty's gone. Now it's just you and me, Nick.
Hey.
Smitty didn't even say his name when he left. He's like, I'm Smitty. Yeah, Smith Swan. That's his new one. I think we're going to stick with Smith Swan. He looks just like that son of a bitch.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. And it's not because they're black. It's just they look like each other. It's because of the hair, really. Anything. Yeah, man. So that's about it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go to breakingdownthering.com. We have a brand new shirt up for one of our charities. The all black with the fist. It helps support the NAACP Defense and Legal Fund, which helps educate people on the history of things in this country. Why we especially here Breaking Down the Ring, we believe that there is a systemic problem for people of color that they have to deal with in not just things with the police, but in housing, in education, in the buildup of stuff. There's been a lot of things holding people of color down since the beginning, and this helps stop, I guess whitewashing is the term, some of the past, to where people can understand where things started and hopefully get better because of it, that's all we want, man, in this country, dude. Just everyone have an equal share.
Equality.
Equal fight, equal everything, man. Nobody's better. Nobody is worse than because of a skin tone. Nobody should have less opportunities because they're not a specific color or because of where they specifically come from. Because, let's not pretend like even if you're Caucasian and you grow up in the hood that, you're having problems as well, because you are. But obviously it's much more so for people of color. And this helps the NAACP Legal and Defense Fund not only helps people when they're dealing with racial inequality in lawsuits and stuff, but helps educate people to further understand stuff. Of course, we still have our Breaking Down the Ring Pride tee, and 100% of the profits for that go to the Trevor Project, so I highly suggest you checking that out. Again, you can get all this stuff at breakingdownthering.com. Follow all of our social medias, which is linked right there when you go to it, breakingdownthering.com. Yeah, that's it for us, man. We are your ring crew.
Koenig, 19.
And me, the almighty one and current ring crew champion, the almighty one, Mikey himself, midget stripper. You're gonna have to chill. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are out. No, we're not. Dave's still not there, man. But when we cut it, when we actually end it, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I can cut it.
You can cut it out.
Cut it out. I did that shit last night at work, man. Like, one person got the joke. I was like, oh, what is going on here? Why are you guys not catching it?
Getting
so yeah,
old.
We are, man. This thing is going longer than we wanted it to. Actually, shorter. So when I post it, it'll be shorter. Nick, how was your camping trip, sir? Let's just let people know in our lives.
Yeah, it was good, and I would like to be on the show in the morning, but we go like there's no fucking service at all, and we're going next weekend to Crystal Creek, like to tube
Crystal
down the
Lake?
rifle. Yeah, Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh,
and
we're
gonna go down the Rifle River.
You better hope you don't run into anyone named Jason or his mom.
You never know.
Rifle River, man. Like, are you just tubing down it, or is it?
Yeah, we're gonna tube.
Nice, bro.
Yep.
Bring your adorable daughter in her BDR hat.
Nope, it's all adults.
Oh, well, fuck that kid.
Yep. We're gonna leave her here, but we'll leave her here by herself for the weekend. She does all right. We put down a pee and poo poo pad and a couple bowls.
You get 2 different pads. Wow, I would just be giving them one. Use the same pad.
And we're like, here's the remote. Just
this is the on button. Yeah. Yep. We have a key, so we won't knock. That's awesome though, man. Like, this is like 3 out of the last 4 weekends that you guys are going.
Yeah, we usually try and space them out a little more, but with the whole situation, we had to bunch them up together, and then we're getting married the week after that. So,
which I'm not invited to.
Hey, man, look,
It's good shit, probably. Look.
the idea is to have everybody that we want there, but then we were kind of like with COVID, it's on a short notice type deal. We were going to wait and do it next summer, but
Yeah.
we got to get this
Extenuating
done.
circumstances.
Yeah, we got to get it done for reasons out of my control. So we got to get it done. So we're only limited to about 20 people.
Yeah, that's how it was. So for my grandfather, when we did his military burial, finally was supposed to be done in April. He passed away in January. We did the funeral, and then the burial was supposed to be done in April. Obviously, COVID changed that. So it was just like the other weekend. And yeah, same thing, 20 people. And it's like, how do you choose which 20 people you're going to bring to a funeral? And I can only imagine how much it is like that for you. Like, how do you choose which 20 people you're going to allow to watch you get married?
Well, then we would sit there and be like, well, what if we just have another 3 or 4? But then, well, if we have those 3 or 4, then we got to invite, these aunts and uncles and then these grandparents. And then all of a sudden you're at 40. And then, so.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Just Zoom the wedding.
Yeah, we probably will. We'll probably, Facebook Live or something,
Yeah, so people can watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. I'll be the videographer. With Facebook Live.
Perfect.
There, I'm invited now. Yes, because I'm working, and I'll do it for free.
Free 99. How was New York?
New York was good, man. So anybody who knows me knows I went to New York. My first real vacation in fucking years, bro. Like, I mean, for real. Like, we went to Chicago and I went to Vegas last year, but there was wrestling stuff involved and there was work involved in it. Sure, I was out of town. That wasn't a fucking vacation. We had some fun, but 8 hours of each of those days, I was at the fucking StarCast doing work for the fucking podcast,
Mm-hmm.
So again, we were able to enjoy things like you and I, went to the GCW show when I was in Vegas. I, did the suburban fight and things like that. But man, this one was just cool. A lot of people were talking about how, like, people in the stores, like, when they would ask us where we were from, I had my Detroit Tigers mask on, so a lot of people knew where I was from. And we were like, yeah, it's our first time ever. And they're like, oh, so, so sorry that you had to come during this pandemic. It was like, but at the same time, maybe it's awesome that you came during this pandemic because everything's slow.
Sure.
Even Dave was talking about it. He goes, on one of my posts, he goes, what's really crazy is to see how little random people you have in your photos. And I was like, yeah, because I was able to stop and wait for people to walk by for me to get a photo of some of these things. And so, look, we had really good weather. So actually, it was a full on. I had Michaela, my kid, for the week before, and she's with her mom for this week because her mom, Tracy's mom, Michaela's mom is Tracy. Tracy's mom is in town from Florida. So she's spending the week there. That's why Michaela has been there all week. I didn't have her this week. So I was like, I looked at the girl and I was like, man, do you want to go to New Jersey? Because I was just thinking about it. I was like, do you want to go to New Jersey? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you don't even want to know why? And she goes, no, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to go. Just fucking get up and go. We've been talking about maybe just getting up with a car ride. And I was like, well, here's why. And we went to Quick Stop and Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. And I didn't really tell anybody I was going. Like, the only people that really knew were a few of the people at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to go. And that's what it was. It was literally, we thought about it the week before and we looked it all up and we were able to knock it out. And then I stayed an extra day for New York because of how excited she was just when we were pulling into the city. She was just going nuts. She's like, phone, camera, everything. And it was her first time as well. So I was like, I'll see if I can get my shift covered and we'll stay an extra day. And thank God, man, because that extra day made all the difference. We were able to do so many different things. I walked in Central Park, went to Apple, Fifth Avenue. We went to the 9/11 memorial. The only thing that sucked about that is I didn't realize there was a time frame on it. And it was only open from 1 to 8, and we got there like 8:09.
Oh.
So the photos that I took were from barricades that were about 30 feet away from it, rather than being able to walk up and actually, get good photos and stuff. I didn't realize it. I didn't know. And she was like, I am so sorry, because we were bullshitting around at the restaurant before going. And no, I'm sorry. We went to eat food, and then we stopped at this Starbucks Roast Reserve, which is like one of 6 in the world. It's in New York.
Mhm.
And we were fucking around there. Like, she was walking around looking for stuff to shop, and she goes, I feel so bad. I go, I didn't know this. It's not like you delayed anything. It's, so, I appreciate it, but no, we had a great fucking time. I still got to go there. It's crazy as we're adults that we can go somewhere that was a major turning point in history for things, right? Like 9/11 is something that everyone, if you're of age, you remember what you were doing when you found out or were able to watch these things. Like, literally, I remember my mother waking me up and me going out to the living room and literally watching the second plane hit the tower. Like, I was like, whoa. So this is like something that when I went to, I was just like, man, wars have been big history things, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, things like that. That's all stuff that took place off of our land, outside of like Pearl Harbor. Like, you know what I'm saying? People who, when Pearl Harbor was bombed, everyone's like, oh, I can go to Pearl Harbor and see, but again, off of our land. I was able to go to New York City and be at the memorial where I was watching people get blasted with the ash, where WWE was the first live entertainment show of its kind to happen after 9/11, right? I remember the Saturday Night Live that first aired after, with Rudy Giuliani, back when he was cool, was on there with the fire department and the police department from New York. It was just that was the thing I really wanted to do, and it was like the last thing we did. So for me, that was really cool, and I was really happy with that, because again, what are you gonna? When can you say you can do that in history? Period. Saying that you have gone to something that you like, dude. It's so fucking weird to think that my kid wasn't even alive then. Like, I have a child who has it's literal history for it. Stuff happened before she was alive. That's all the history I learned growing up. Now I literally lived one. I don't know if that ages me or not. Probably.
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little.
Gotta feel weird for the kids that weren't alive and they're learning about it now.
Right? Yeah, it's next year, it'll be 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
fuck.
Yeah, dude. There's like people so it's like I think I figured it out last year. I was like, wow, 18 years ago was 9/11, which means this is the first, like, this year, 2019 was 18 years ago. So this year, 2020, is the first year that every kid from high school down that's in school, none of them were alive when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
It's nuts to think about, right? Because it's so fresh in our minds because of how we lived it. But there's literally, outside of the idiots who were held back, right? But anyone who was born and in their proper grade, this is officially not going to have been alive when 9/11 happened. It's literal history for every one of them. That's nuts. I wonder if Dave's back yet.
Think about COVID in the next 20 years.
Right. This fucking year is a fucking more history. And for really bad reason. Like, this is a history that we caused ourselves. Ish. I mean, you want to argue, people can argue and say it was the China virus or whatever and stuff like that. That's fine. I agree with that. But man, this whole fucking shit is just, it's fucking nuts, dude. It is nuts. Everything about this year is crazy. Everything about anything with this is crazy.
I saw a message pop up.
Yeah, I saw something happen too.
That was just me. I'm here.
Oh, you could talk there. We said we said that we were done. And we were just having a conversation for anyone who's still watching. I don't know who is. All right, so yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. We're out.